All right, so we're back in the garage after the range trip and the boiling heat with the PPQ. Let me say I'm impressed with this pistol. It is very, very high quality. It shoots really nicely and I like it. We're going to talk about a few things that I'm not impressed with and then some things that I do like. I'm going to show you the targets and then we're going to finish this video out. So bear with me till the end, please. I'm going to tell you about an upcoming video that you might be interested in also. First of all, things that I'm not impressed with are the plastic sights. And I mentioned that in the unboxing video. Now, somebody did comment below that a lot of times that's due to import restrictions. I get it, but there are other companies that send metal sights on their guns. And I know some people say, yeah, but I changed mine out anyway. Some people have to save money. They have to save for weeks and months to buy a handgun like this. And sometimes they can't afford to spend another 80 to 150 bucks on a set of sights. It would be better if you put the price even up a little bit, 50, 60, 80 bucks, you know, with the offset that a sight company could make if they're selling these in large volume quantities to companies such as Walther and HK and Glock and SIG and M&P, etc., Beretta. I would rather see that. So instead of a gun being $550, you know, it's $600, but it comes with good night sights or metal sights or fiber optics, whatever, but something high quality. Now they work fine. You can see them. So I mean, if somebody couldn't afford, you know, to put a different set of sights on them, these work. They work fine, but they're plastic. Number two, I was underwhelmed with the slide serrations, and I can show you guys how small the slide serrations are. And what I was looking at was the way that the slide is radiused, which I'm sure is due to weight reduction, also for carry in and out of a holster. That's going to help, that radius. I think it's a great idea, but what you do is you lose some surface that you could put your slide serrations on. So I didn't have any problem working a slide, but it's the first gun I think I've felt where I grabbed it and went, It just caught my attention. If you guys have watched my videos, I've never mentioned that before on any other handgun. So that is a first there. Now I do have one more concern, and I'm going to show you guys that on the bench, and then we'll come back, talk about the positives and the target. All right, we've got the PPQ on the bench here, and I'm going to break it down for you, which, like I said, is actually very nice. You don't have to get in this awkward position and pull the slide back to depress these buttons. You just press them, press the trigger, and off comes the slide. So I do like that disassembly method better than I do the Glocks, where you have to, like I said, awkwardly pull it back, press down on those little tiny nubs. This actually gives you something nice to push down on. So well done there, Walther. Very, very well done. Here's my concern. It's the recoil spring, guys. And when I first looked at it, I thought, it underwhelmed me about like the slide serrations did. It's very chintzy feeling, very, very cheap. The plastic guide rod inside, it looks like something that would be in an airsoft gun, to be honest. Guys, and I hate to say that about such a high quality firearm, and maybe long term it's not a problem, but I did look it up online. I'm not the only one that feels that way. As a matter of fact, a lot of guys are doing stainless steel guide rods in their PPQs, and maybe that's for suppressor use, etc. I don't know, but all I know is that this thing right here, I pulled it out against other guns that I own, and this is by far the least impressive guide rod assembly. It just doesn't impress me. Especially when you put it back into the gun, what I don't like is it just seems like when I push, if you notice, see how that, I mean, the guide rod actually bends. And once I lock it in and I look at it from the side, see how there's an angle to that face. So it's actually slanted somewhat because of the spring tension. So that's a concern of mine, guys, and I don't like, you know, you spend good money on quality firearms, which I'm all for. I have no problem with it. But I just expect a little better built guide rod. I just think that's cheap. So enough of the dislikes, guys. I really like this gun, believe it or not, including the mechanics, you know, the finish. Everything's beautiful inside. No machine lines, but wouldn't you expect that from Walther? They just make great guns. All right, so the negatives are out of the way, and don't get me wrong, guys, I like this gun. It shoots nice. It's a proven weapon. It's been around quite a while. Guys love them. They shoot them well, and they seem to be very reliable as well. Let's move on and talk about likes, and then we'll talk about the target. Do I have to mention liking the trigger? I mean, it's a PPQ, guys, and you guys who have said it's the best trigger out of the box, I believe you. Now, I haven't shot the CZ P10C yet. I'd like to get my hands on one sometime. Some guys compare the two. Others still swear the PPQ is better. Other guys like the CZ better, but it's going to be dependent on the person, you know, what kind of a trigger you like. The trigger reach, the break, the take up, if it's mushy or not. There's a lot of factors that go into that. So obviously the trigger's a positive. I wasn't going to show it, but come on, it's a PPQ. Wow. Guys, if the CZ P10C is better than that, I'd be shocked. That is a really sweet trigger, and man, does it help you stay on target, as evidenced by the 25-yard shots on those little 8-inch gongs, and then the 10 out of 12, I believe I hit from 50 yards the first time I shot at distance. So I was really impressed to go back at that distance the first time I ran this gun from back there and get those kind of hits. So that was an IPSC silhouette, steel silhouette, so 12 inches wide by, the whole thing's 24 tall, but the head I believe is 6. So 18 by 12 basically is what that target is. So very, very good there. The ergonomics and the controls. The slide release works. It works well. The paddle mag release I like. That's why I bought the M1. Running the HKs like I do, that's just, it works for me. So I like that. 1776 or Bust actually made a really good point about the paddle mag release, that he likes the Walther better than the HK because it's longer. The HK is going to be back here and be a little bit shorter. Now because of that, and I've shot thousands of rounds through HKs, I'm always back here to change it anyway. So the longer length might not necessarily help me, but it's a great feature and a great design by Walther. Maybe under stress, you need a little more surface area or option area to be able to hit that mag release. So great point there. Just the overall balance and feel, I believe, goes along with ergonomics. It feels really, really nice in the hand. I like a gun that when you hold it, it doesn't feel like it's going to tip forward. It doesn't feel like it wants to fall back and pop a wheelie. It just sits there. So when you grip it lightly, that's one of the first things I'll do when I pick a gun up, is just grip it kind of lightly and just move it around in the hand a little bit. And then I'll go to squeeze it, present it, and see how it feels. And this is a beauty, absolutely a beauty. The finish, obviously, come on, Walther's a great company. They make great guns, so their finish is going to be solid as well. Although I will say this, if you are training with your gun enough and you're dry practicing in and out of holsters enough, you should wear your gun. It should have wear on the slide, period. I don't care what kind of finish it is. No finish is indestructible. And if you're not running your gun enough, it will still look pretty. And for a carry gun, I don't like that. So shootability, precision, accuracy, all ties back to the ergonomics and the trigger. So that is another plus. Very, very shootable. I just felt like it was difficult to miss. Now I know I didn't hit every round perfect and a couple of misses, you know, even on the steel, but it was difficult to do so. In other words, I guess it's easier to hit with this gun than it is others the first time I ran those guns. So very, very impressed with the PPQ overall. We're going to put it down. We're going to talk target just for a second. Now, when I ran the gun with the left hand, if you notice, the camera was behind the target. When I shot with the left hand, I had a couple that flew over here. Besides those two rounds, everything else is in the scoring line with the exception of this one shoulder hit. So we're right in that scoring line. A couple are outside, but they're nice and high. Remember, anything neck width and above that, up into that chest, I'm good with. Even this headshot that I missed right here, would I take that in a gunfight to defend my life if I'm fighting for my life? Absolutely. The headshots, either touching or inside the scoring line, so no complaints there. Overall, about 100, 110 rounds on the paper, and then I did a lot of rounds on the steel. So from 5 yards, about a 1 7/8 inch group. I put 2 inches. It was just a shade under. I doubled the length back to 10 yards, and I was a 2 1/4 inch group. Now, I probably could have slowed down and shot better. As a matter of fact, I know I can, but I really, really struggle with that, guys. It is hard for me to go back and just slowly press the trigger and reset and go slow. I like to go fast. I just do. It's the way I'm built, the way I'm wired. So overall, guys, I really like the PPQ. And the announcement I was going to make on an upcoming video is I've got a versus video. I'm going to go head-to-head the Walther PPQ, the Heckler & Koch VP9. So be looking for that video coming up. It's in process, and we're going to do it on the bench. And we're going to put them head-to-head at the range. And I'm putting myself out there because you guys know I love my VP9s. I'm working on a test protocol and something that's very fair and balanced between the two that will show, I think, the quality of both guns, and it'll be interesting. I have a feeling it's going to come down to accuracy, how tight the groups are, because everything else is so good on the guns. So that should be interesting. The PPQ VP9 coming up sometime really soon, so check back. Walther PPQ, I'm impressed, guys. All you guys out there who have sang its praises, I understand it. It is definitely a really, really sweet gun. Till next time, guys, Brian Poe with Poe Performance. Thanks for watching.